everyone, Renee here. In this video, I'm going to show you my most fundamental well-aging skincare routine. My simplest routine, which I do most nights and feature all my gold standard favorites for well-aging. This is how I use everything together. If I add anything to this routine, it's purely supplemental for whatever my skin needs. So I've mentioned before, I'm in my mid-50s. I've never gotten any kind of injectables like Botox or filler. Every once in a while, I'll do a facial treatment, but those tend to be few and far between. So I really heavily rely on my skincare to do the prevention, treating, and repairing, at least for now. Of course, starting off with a proper cleanse. Even that process has evolved for me somewhat. Before, I always double cleansed, but now I double cleanse only when I feel I really need it. So a lot of times I just use my first cleanser, and that's actually enough to get the job done. I don't really wear a lot of makeup on a day-to-day basis. The majority of layers on my skin is really skincare. So the times when I absolutely will double cleanse are the days where I'm particularly active, sweaty, my skin is just congested. Also when I'm wearing more makeup than usual, especially if it's long wearing foundation in the summer, and definitely if I'm wearing resistant sunscreens, very water resistant, sweat resistant, and friction resistant ones. By the way, these wristbands have changed cleansing for me. I no longer soak my robe sleeves while I'm cleansing. The first cleanser I've been using pretty much all summer is a Revisit from Juno & Co. Their Jade Clean 10 Cleansing Balm. It's the same formula, just newer and cooler packaging. This is refillable. Each refill is the same amount and price as the previous original cleansing balm. However, it uses 78% less plastic. This only has 10 ingredients, but it does the job as well as you could hope for. Japanese mascaras and eyeliners, be gone. This emulsifies and rinses off completely clean, no detectable residue left on the skin afterwards. But if I were to double cleanse, I'm using a cream cleanser, nothing that's too strong or stripping. From Saatchi Skin, their Saponins Cream Cleanser. This is what I've been loving. It was in my previous evening skincare routines. I love the color of it and the texture. It's a light cream to gel. You can really get a good satisfying massage with this, and it rinses off completely clean, no residue. As you know, hydration has always been such a fundamental step for me. It makes all the difference to how plump, youthful, and glowy my skin looks. Of course, I'm using my Essence. It's great for the skin barrier and very substantial. It gives my skin that juicy, plump bounciness that just becomes all the more elusive as the years go by. The next gold standard in my routine is, of course, copper peptides. I will link a video that I made in the description box about what all the different types of peptides are and what they do. I've tried so many different copper peptide formulas that have come out, but none that I actually feel even compares to the CIS3, or at least enough so that I would replace it in my routine until now from Allies of Skin, their copper tripeptide and Ectoin advanced repair serum. This is different in many ways from the CAIS3, so it's not like I will be replacing one for the other, but I'm really enjoying using this right now. This is full of age defensive peptides. In my experience, this has also been really fast acting with skin that is very sensitive. The texture has the kind of viscosity to it that I really love. So when you're applying it on your skin, there is some slip, and a little bit does go a long way. It is so hydrating and comforting. Other than the different copper peptides and amino acids, also contains Ectoin, which is really great at protecting the skin, as well as facilitating repair. This also has 2% agirolene, which works on smoothing any kind of fine lines or wrinkles. This is also okay to use in the same routine as retinoids. They're very complementary. In fact, you can even use this in the same routine as ascorbic acid, as long as you give just a little bit of wait time between using the two formulas, like 5 minutes. It's the most important treatment in any well-aging routine, my retinoid. So you know I've been using tretinoin for a few years now because it is the gold standard. So I have a personalized formula from agency, and I'm really happy with, largely because they allow me to go at my own pace. So I get to start at a concentration which is way lower than your average prescription strength, and then just move on up when my skin is ready. So even after a few years, I'm still at a concentration that is lower from the usual prescription strength, but this is what really works for my skin. 0.02% of tretinoin, 5% tranexamic acid, because I do need to keep melasma at bay, 4% niacinamide, and 1% dexpanthenol, which very effectively holds moisture in your skin. So rather than applying this right after cleansing before liquid formulas, I prefer to use them after the liquid formulas. Then I can sort of go away, do something else, wait for the formulas to completely dry down and apply this to dry skin. But also the texture is creamy, which you know I like to apply after liquid textures. So I use this on dried skin before or over a creamy moisturizer, which always acts as a very calming buffer. The texture is light, this is very spreadable, so it's easy to get a thin and even layer on the skin. I still tend to avoid the area around my eyes, around the folds of my nose, and my lip line. One of the formulas that I have been the most excited about this year is a new one, also from the agency. They now have an eye formula with tretinoin, where I had to always avoid using tret. I can now use this super gentle formula. This portion of the video is sponsored by agency, and I will put a link in the description box where you can check out more information and details about this new formula. This will do what tretinoin does, but around the eye area where I actually really need it. So it will help with the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, as well as work on pigmentation. This also helps with and prevents milia. I kind of love the unique balm-like texture. It's lightweight, it has a great slip, and it glides for very even application. And it does not migrate. Even then, I'm careful not to put this on my mobile eyelids or on my lash line. So I usually apply it on my eye bags, crow's feet, and also on the upper ocular bone. It's kind of been dreamy because it's also really moisturizing. My personalized eye formula contains 0.002% tretinoin. This is the starting point, as well as 2% of EGCG from green tea. So powerful, powerful antioxidant, but it's also very anti-inflammatory as well. It has 1% caffeine, which is really great for puffiness, and that is a battle I fight every day. And 1% dexpanthenol, which keeps your skin plump and hydrated. So this formula is my starting point. And at the beginning, naturally, I started quite conservatively. I was phasing it in. I was also buffering it. Really quickly, I was able to actually just use this every single day. I've never experienced any retinization, sensitivity, no issues whatsoever. I believe it's because my eye area is very well prepped, because you may know that prior to this, I was using a retinaldehyde formula. I asked my dermatology provider at what point would it be okay for me to move on to a stronger formula. As long as I'm able to use this every single night consecutively for 2 weeks, then I can consider moving to something stronger. So next month, I will be moving up, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm just starting a new journey. And lastly, you just gotta have a good moisturizer. I mean, it's basic, but so important, especially when you're starting to see more signs of aging. At least for me in the evening routine, it makes all the difference between waking up in the morning with glowing skin or just meh. This year, I've just been really loving from Dalba their white truffle double serum and cream. This makes my skin look good. And with all the moisturizers that are out there, that is kind of the deciding point for me. But also, I think it is extremely practical. This has 2 polar opposite moisturizers in one container. One is a very hydrating, luscious gel, and the other is a dense cream. I've always said that moisturizing is situational. It's all about finding that right texture for what you need that day. This addresses that by allowing you to combine these 2 textures so that you can get exactly what you need without you having to have 5 different moisturizers, which I'm no stranger to. These 2 combine beautifully and apply beautifully on the skin. So in the summer, you can see I use more of the gel, less of the cream. But to be fair, the cream is also really dense, so you need a lot less of it. A little goes a long way. So for oily skin, you would use more of the gel to the cream, and for dry skin, it would be vice versa. What makes this pretty unique is it addresses the in-between combination skin crowd. In fact, I'm really glad that I've got this going into the transitional weather months. Even though the cream is dense, it does dry down, but to a very velvety, natural finish, you can still wear makeup over it. This sits well under makeup. The gel feels great. It's luscious, but it also does not dry down sticky. It's holding onto moisture, and you'll get that very healthy, hydrated glow. I will always mix at least a little bit of this gel with the moisturizer because it will bring that glow. Can't forget the lips. Mine aren't particularly dry at the moment, so I don't need a whole lip mask or anything, but I am loving this from The Ordinary, their Squalane Amino Acids Lip Balm. I'm lying if I don't say my main attraction to this is its packaging, but it's actually a great lip balm as well. But it's not a heavy sleeping mask lip balm. It's almost like a serum. This does feel instantly hydrating, as though it kind of plumps the skin of your lips, which is a different sensation that I get from very buttery or waxy lip balms. This feels like a proper nourishing lip serum. Actually, when things are a lot drier and inevitably my lips are peeling and flaking, I may use this and put a lip mask over it. So that's it, everyone. This is how I use my favorite gold standard ingredients and formulas for aging well in my evening routine with everything I need, no extras. For my active treatments, which are not daily and always done on non-tretinoin days, I kind of want to show you one of my favorite all-out pamper extra skincare routines, mimicking some of my favorite professional facial treatments, but doing it at home. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. And until next time, I'm wishing you great skin health. Bye.